see it like this infinity sign. There was like an equal voice. Like I wrote a poem and then you wrote a poem. So it was an equal amount of like airtime. Both sides got to learn a lot about each other because we had to listen to each other. I am the present, the gift of the here and now. The love we give in the moment under the shining sun is the gift. When under the mango tree, I didn't really realize that there was something missing inside of me, and it happened over time, but slowly there was this healing that occurred, and it became really important for me to be able to share that experience with other people. I was thinking if people could exchange poetry or art as opposed to like things, to try and let go of the things that we want from each other, whatever it is, and then to just receive what the other person has to share, seemed to be a more authentic way to connect. And that was the goal of the project, was connections that were based on something other than an expectation.
Whoa! Wow! Wow! Whoa! Wow. You guys are not fast enough. But could you give you...
West Oakland to West Africa started in 2013. I was living in Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa. I was able to go to Ghana. I was kind of trying to check out the poetry scene, and I met Sir Black, who was at that time just starting this group called A Halakaso, which is now a very kind of hot, popular slam poetry group.
What the Eha means is song, and then the meaning of La is sing, and then Kasa, which is Kasa, and the meaning is speak or talk. So the fusion of song, sing, and talk is what we put together in order to create that hybrid of singing or talking and speaking and sharing your feeling, not just in anger, but in this beautiful art form called poetry.
When I got back here, I actually got a fellowship from Mills, a community engagement fellowship, and called Sir Black on Skype and said, hey, do you want to do an exchange? He said, written poetry? We're slam poets. You know I don't write my poetry. He's like, English is like my 5th language. I was like, can you do it for me? And he was like, okay, but you're gonna have to do slam poetry for us. That was the bargain. We struck a bargain. That's where my teaching kind of kicked in, you know, because I'd been a teacher for a long time. So I was like, what if we just have like a poetry workshop every week, and we were going to write a poem on a different theme. And then what wound up happening was every week when we met, people wanted to read the poems that they had received. So then our classes started extending and getting longer and longer. And then people wanted to meet on Skype. Sir Black only had one computer at that time. So they would all like gather around their one computer, and then we would all come here. We'd all like sit here on this couch and like be on one computer, and we would talk to each other. And then one day someone said, let's go to Ghana. That was the dream. Stand tall, hold your shoulders back. Imagine a light from your head to the sky. Open your throat chakra and listen with your voice. I think the part that evolved was how important this was for Black people. So I'm gonna think about myself as an activist. And so when I came here in the 90s, it was kind of like hip hop was starting, and, you know, there was this renaissance on how can people use art to affect change. Your ancestors gave you life, and soon you will be one too. Give back to the community with deeds, not words. May your prayers be grateful. You have so many talents. Open your soul to the ocean of love before you. We realized as we were there, and especially as things progressed, that this need to return to the motherland and to plant your feet on the ground is really important, and it's especially important in the healing of Black people. And there seems to be, when you actually plant your feet on the ground of Africa, there seems to be like a connecting. I wanted that connection for myself. And then when I felt that connection, I felt like there could be real healing if I could share that with other people.
Okay, so Carl, I'm taking it from where you left it. Before you was time and chance, space and movement, and other elements tangible and intangible. Some for delight and some for disgust. Some live long and some long to live. Some came and claimed in the name of pain. Some survived and stayed alive. Some wept and some slept. However, none before you were allowed to allow chance to time. Either appeared or disappeared.